At the moment, the latest stats from REWA currently sitting at 330. Solid performer in a challenging market. Hi, Michaelkeil here. Today I'm with in-house economist Ryan Bridie, and we're going to look at the third quarter results from Domain, and they were very interesting. Ryan, tell us what's going on.
Okay, thanks Mike. Okay, so Domain released their third quarter results and they show a mean property price of $544,000. There was a decrease of 2.4% for the quarter and 2.2% for the past 12 months. This followed a 1.2% increase in the second quarter, so we have gone backwards a little bit. Dr. Nicola Powell from Domain put the decrease in all capital cities except Hobart down to two reasons. Firstly is the tightening of verification, which we've discussed before. Second is the decline in sales over the winter period, and as demand drops, so does the price. And if we look at the results, we can see that Hobart was the only capital city to record a quarter-on-quarter change. But we can also see that cities that have been experiencing positive year-on-year change are now not experiencing that positive growth.
Yep. Ryan, it'll be very interesting in the next quarter to see how much of the change in price was to verification as opposed to seasonality.
Can't wait to see the results. Yep. Okay, so the three capital cities that recorded negative year-on-year growth are Perth, Sydney and Melbourne. But I believe the reason Perth won't experience the declines like Sydney and Melbourne are going to is because of the ratio of average incomes to the median property price. Alan Langford, who's the chief economist at Bankwest, said Perth's prices do not look out of kilter with incomes. The relative affordability of properties in Perth, particularly compared to Sydney and Melbourne, means first-time buyers are still accounting for a healthy 30+% of the market. The affordability of Perth is an incentive for young people to migrate west.
Just on that affordability, HIA recently came out and said Perth's affordability is absolutely fantastic time and it's a record low.
Yeah, I think I heard the same thing.
Yep.
Okay, so it's great to see first home buyers making up such a large portion of the market. Wages are generally lower in the earlier stages of your working life, so Perth's affordability is a real benefit to first home buyers, and this is indicated by the strong demand. If rental vacancy rates continue to decrease, rents will rise and encourage even more first home buyers into the market. So far, the cheap rents have been an incentive for first home buyers not to enter the market. To illustrate the difference between Perth and Sydney property markets, we're going to come up with a hypothetical example using mean wages, medium house prices in Perth and Sydney, using a 20% deposit, 5% interest rate and a 25-year loan. And if you had to buy in Sydney in those conditions, your weekly repayment is $1,188. In Perth, it's only $588. If we look at wages across Australia, we can see that Western Australia has quite significantly higher wages than the rest of the country. But to make this even more fair for Sydney, we're just going to use New South Wales wages, and the average weekly wage post-tax is $1,214 per person. If we assume we've got two-income household, it's $2,428. So this means in Sydney, approximately 50% of your wage pays the mortgage, while in Perth, it's less than 25%. Automatically, you can see why tightening verifications and reduced maximum borrowing capacity will have a much greater effect in Sydney than it will do in Perth.
Yeah, great example there, Ryan.
I think also you probably agree, though, that in a market or an economy, and particularly a real estate market, I think it's really important that people on the average wage or average income can afford to buy the average price house. To me, that makes sense.
Yep, most definitely.
Okay, so Michael commented last week on our video that until our listings get around 12,000, it remains a buyer's market. And Alan Langford agrees, saying without an unexpected acceleration in population growth, Perth will remain a buyer's market for the next couple of months. And as we've explained before, employment opportunities are the major drivers behind WA state migration and therefore population growth. But if we're looking at what employment opportunities exist, we can look at the September employment figures from the Treasury Department, and it shows WA created an extra 6,895 full-time jobs. This is quite a significant number of jobs. As a result, our unemployment rate fell from 6.4% to 6%. So as WA employment opportunities continue to improve, so will our interstate migration. And we can see from the graph here, although we're still a long way off being in positive territory, the trend is coming upwards.
Yep, with that as well, if there's less people moving out of the state as well, more people moving in, then obviously there'll be tighter vacancies as well. And as you mentioned, more people who have been holding off buying will have to, because rents will rise, they'll have to enter the property market before that starts rising as well.
And therefore we're seeing demand increase in those first home buyer markets. First home buyer suburbs should start to see increases as vacancy rates continue to decline. We see more first home buyers in the market. That should really support those suburbs.
Yeah.
In conclusion, I'd just like to take a statement from LJ Hooking Managing Director Andrew Freeb, who said all the right indicators are being seen, which slowly brings confidence into the market. Demand is critical to overall growth in the property market, and population growth is fundamental to this.
Yep, Ryan, great summary again. Look, affordability has never been better in Perth. Housing prices have come down. Obviously wages are starting to rise. Now is the time to be buying, in my opinion. I'm sure you agree. If anybody is interested in taking advantage of the market, feel free to contact our award-winning team on 1300 522 000. And if you'd like to receive our weekly e-newsletter, which Ryan puts together, email Michael@Michaelkeil.com and we'll add you to that newsletter list. So thanks, Ryan, again. Great presentation.
Thanks, Mike.
And bye for now.